So, out of all your kids, who do you think is resembles you the most?
Fuck. Everybody. The good side or the bad side, right? Damn. It's funny because, like, you know, I have this saying that these kids, they learn habits or personalities from us, from adults, and from like us. We learned how to become ourselves from our parents or whoever we role model from or whoever. And so I think I'm just a bad role model to all of them because they fuck around too much.
I remember when we were visiting you guys, and then what is it? Grace was talking to the dog just like how you were talking to the dog. It was so cute.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, what's up, man? How are you?
We talk to each other like that at you know, the grocery stores, Lowe's, whatever. We're like, what the fuck? And she's like, oh, shit. Did Grace just say that? She said it before me. And so we would joke around and talk like that to each other, and it's entertaining because other people would be like, yo, talk to your kids like that? That's kind of cool. But so bad too, because I don't know if they do that in school, you know.
Yeah.
Have slang and say to each other like bro and stuff like that with their colleagues and stuff. So it's interesting. But as far as like which one resembles me the most, I would say it's tough. I mean, after hearing you guys' podcast before, I would say I guess it's Jensen, right? Because he's so naughty. His mind is everywhere, but he's down to do anything. Mm-hmm. But he only wants to do the stuff that he's kind of like, see himself doing. Mm-hmm. Whereas the other girls, they are like that in their own way, but they just, they become their own personalities, maybe because their age, being 8 and 6. But 5, Jensen is definitely more malleable, but open to learning stuff.
Yeah.
How about you? Let's start with you first, Amy. Which one of the kids do you think resembles you the most? Oh, this is an easy answer, Cookie.
I know.
Damn.
I know. I think that the one that resembles me the most will have to be Georgia. It's so annoying, but I'm kind of like, she gets mad at the littlest things, and she stay mad until until you make her stop being mad. And then I remember last time she was mad, and Ball's like, Amy, take care. You should know how to take care of her, because that's exactly like you. I was like, oh, okay, that's true. And then I was like, okay, and I go and talk to her and try to make her laugh, and then she feels better. Mm-hmm. And then and she's just like so moody all the time, and I feel bad because I didn't realize how bad I was until Ball was saying, this is just exactly like you, and I was like, oh man, I feel bad for you because you've been dealing with me like this for how many years now?
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man.
years.
I was like, I feel bad for you.
Now I got 2 of them to deal now.
I know.
At least you kind of know how to deal with them, right?
Yeah.
So that is a plus.
Experience.
I know. I just feel bad for you because I'm like, dang, she gets mad at everything. I was like, oh shoot, I do that too? Oh, sorry.
It's funny because I saw the same thing with Grace, my middle child, and my wife. Mm-hmm. I think she is a bubbly personality and everything, and same thing with Grace, super bubbly, great personality to be around and things like that. But when you get on her bad side, then it's all hell breaks loose kind of thing. So don't get on her bad side. And even me and my wife, we joke around. We go, fuck, I feel sorry for her future husband because you're going to have to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
When she's good, she's really good. Just don't get on her bad side. And, being in a relationship or a couple, whatever, that's physically or mentally, everything impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, everybody's got to test each other. She's bad. She would get to a point where it looks like she has a demonic face towards you.
Ooh.
Yeah. fucking did that shit. Fucking did. In my head though, you know.
Because I can do a lot in my head with you.
Yeah. And she's been like that from day one. And
That's funny.
And you know, we try to like ease that, I guess, that thought process that goes in her head, but you know, goes back to, you know, her old ways and stuff like that. And the wife's like that too, in a sense. So it's scary. I know what you're talking about. It's scary.
So you think that, so out of all of your kids, then Grace resembles Nya the most,
Yeah.
personality wise? Yeah.
The bossiness is definitely from Angela. No, I mean, from Sylvia. Sylvia definitely kind of like Nancy with just being bossy and doing things and like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And maybe it's the oldest child syndrome because my wife was the oldest child in her family. So, but then as far as like personality, bad habits, good habits, and things like that, Grace. Yeah.
She's such a tough girl, though. Yeah.
Middle child.
I know.
It's funny because I tell my wife, I go, this is how you deal with her when she's like, her temper is way up there, and you know, when she's mad, just let her like vent it out, let her cry it all out, and then just go hold her, right? And then that will solve things. Otherwise, if you try to tell her to do this and do that, she's like, the fuck, dude, I'm still stabbing you in my head, you know, like, hey, this ain't over yet. But when they're done and you just go caress them and hold them, then they're like, good, they melt, and then they like stop putting up those walls and stuff like that.
Yep.
She's like, what? Why? How would you ever get that from? I'm like, cause I have to do that with you. What do you think? What do you think?
I know. She's like, you're so good at this. Oh, yeah. I had experience.
13 years, right, Bob?
13 years.
16. 16 and counting.
What about you, Bob? Who resembles you the most?
The one that resembles me the most, I would say, would be Connor.
Yeah.
I'll say Connor. We do, I don't know, we just, I guess you say we have, like, we just do random stuff out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's just either, if it's funny or not, it's like, whatever. We're just doing it. But then I think, one thing I would say, he is a lot way cooler than I am when I was younger. Because I think he has that aspect from Amy, you know, being kind of like, not shy about things, just kind of put it out there. And that's one thing he has from Amy, and then for what he has for me, then I think he resembles of me the most. I would say that he is, when he gets to his own problems, issue, he's like, he kind of, it takes a while for us to get out of the hump.
Yeah.
Would you say so?
Yeah.
He kind of holds it in, and then he cries about it. He has that part, and then we'll be like, dude, get it out. What is it? You know, we want to know why you're crying. We want to know why you're crying. What do we do? This and that. So we try to teach him to say it. But then the funny thing is that I'm the same. Why am I pushing out him when Amy tried to push him out and say shit?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like clicks like, okay, maybe he needs time just the way I do it. So that's how I am.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I try to comfort him and tickle him, whatever, make sure he stops crying. Then from there, he'll open up. But I say definitely Connor is the one that will resemble me the most. I guess they say he looks like me too.
Yeah.
I can't really tell because I see them every day.
Yeah. Identical. You know, mini me. Yeah. That's funny how that works, because I often say like our kids are like a product of us, right? So
Yes.
a lot of times we will learn a little bit about ourselves based off of like our kids and how we treat them and how we're raising them and their resilience on certain things and stuff like that. Like I often say like, hey, if I'm afraid of heights. So if I am preaching that I'm afraid of heights, my kids are going to be afraid of heights too. And so it teaches me a little bit about, okay, I know I'm afraid of heights, but I need to overcome this for the better of my kids moving forward.
That's
and
true.
So I have to do these things. I have to learn a little bit about myself, how to overcome these things, so then I could teach my kids to overcome them too. And we go through that battle like daily too. So I don't know if that's the case with you guys.
Yeah.
Do you have anything? What do you? So based on Peter's what he said, is there anything like that you came across that you want to overcome so that it's for the betterment of your kids?
I'm very short-tempered. So it's like I'm trying to teach them to talk it out. And just like the other day when Georgia and Evelyn, they were all upset with each other. And sometimes, yeah, I hold it for a while too. So Evelyn, when she was all upset because Georgia drew all over her picture that she's been working on for a couple days, she was really upset.
That was a couple days?
Yeah, she was doing it for a couple days.
Oh, that makes
And so she was really...
That makes more
Yeah.
sense because I thought it was just spur of the moment right there.
No,
She
it
just
was... Yeah.
okay, I guess so.
But she scribbled all over it, so she's really upset. And usually I will hold the grudge for a bit too, like because I'm like really furious. So I was just trying to teach George, Evelyn to just, not hold it for so long and forgive faster because you're wasting a lot of time. Because that's what I did a lot. When I'm upset, I waste a lot of time.
your cousin in town,
Yeah.
say, hey, get over it, go enjoy your time with your cousins.
Yeah, so I was trying to teach her how to do that because I wish I did that sooner back then and stop holding the grudge and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to teach her to. And then I still don't really know the answers to it because I'm still learning. But yeah, that's one thing that I was trying to do better.
Yeah, that's good. That you're at least you acknowledge that you see it, and it's also something that is near and dear to you. Like that's what you do too. So you got to figure out how to solve that puzzle, so you can solve it for them, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's crazy because, like I said, like I didn't realize how bad I was. Like I didn't realize that I get mad at every little thing fast, until, like I said, when Georgia did that a lot, and then I was like, damn, that's annoying. And then Ball's like, that's exactly like you. Then I started watching her, and I was like, oh yeah. Then I was like, then I'm more patient with Ball now, where I try not to be so upset because I kind of feel bad. So like what you're saying, it's like, they are a product of you. So I start seeing those things. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to be nicer. And there's these little things that she does. I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing that to Ball because it irritates the shit out of me when she does it. So I'm like, okay, I gotta be nicer to Ball.
She's a replicate of you.
I know.
That's why I know how to take care of her. Just don't give her away. I mean, yeah, you might want things your way, but it's always like what I always tell you. Let me think about it. That's always either a maybe or no, because kind of like sometimes you just instantly act upon what you want, or in a sense, and it's not making any sense. So like for her, if she wants something, I'm like no, because I have to dig into her to let her know that just because you want it, just because you want it this way, you're not gonna get it. Because it's if I let you escape every time, you're gonna escape every time now. So I always tell her, like, she wants certain things, just like for example, there's a time where Darren and Georgia were right behind me on the couch right here, and Darren messed with her a little bit, and then she whines, and I'm like, okay, Darren, stop. And after that, Darren stopped, right? So just because Darren was irritating her, and she just didn't want Darren in her point of view, so she's just, I'm like, what's wrong? I look back, she's like, Darren. I'm like, Darren's on his phone doing nothing. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. I'm like, you need to cool off, and Darren's not doing anything, so he's fine. And then she's just like, stop.
I don't do that. That's her. What about you, Ally?
What?
Since you came in.
I only have one kid.
Which kid resembles you the most? August or August or August or August?
Tough one. Tough question.
I think we'll go August.
But because it's funny because you're pointing out, Amy, that the stuff that annoys you about them, it's like, shit, that's what I do too, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I see that, right? And would that be in line with with you, Angela? Like maybe there's certain things that August does that annoys you. You're like, fuck, I think that's probably from me, or I probably it's a learned behavior in a sense, right? Honestly, all right, you're on the stand, so
I know, right?
I think he's like me as an adult now, because I don't know how I was when I was a kid, and then the people older than me hasn't told me how I was as a kid. But I see that he's just like me now, and it's like, oh my gosh, it took me 30 years to be like this, and only took him 1 year, which is like a horrible thing.
Remember, we're still just a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
We haven't figured anything out.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, I think there's a lot that he does that is it's like what I said. I think I can't say of like when I was a kid or whatever, but I think there's a lot of things that he does that yeah, it's definitely like me. And it's like, damn, I hate it. Like he's not scared. He'll get his ass beat. He's not scared. I mean, okay, that part's not me because I never got my ass beat. I was a good kid, so.
You don't beat your kids.
I know.
What are you talking about? You pat
No
them.
beat,
Hey,
like drop the beat type of deal.
hey, August, stop doing that.
I'm just making beat.
Yeah.
Doo, 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 doo.
It's just a bunch of EDM music. Like,
And it slapped a few times. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah.
do you see things that are like his dad that you try to correct too? Because I always wonder, like what I was saying with like these are learned behaviors from these kids. You know, how much of it is genetic and how much of it is just learned things, right? Like sometimes I'm like, you didn't learn it from me because I definitely was not doing it around here. But then how did you pick that up or something like that, right?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Because I think most of like him, like he's just stubborn, and I guess I don't direct it like, oh, that's from your dad. I just say that because I'm mad. You definitely got that from him, not me. But in reality, I know I'm stubborn. So, but he hasn't done any. I don't think he's done anything to where I said, you're just like your dad. Like your dad does that too. Because, yeah. Or maybe it's because I just refrain from wanting to think that too. You know.
Yeah. And that's an honest like response to that too, right? Because it's like if you have a certain like perception of like certain these attitudes or whatever, you're just like, I don't want to, hold that as like an excuse.
Yeah.
Just correct it and just do
Yeah.
it and just move forward.
Yeah. Or even like some people, they say that they kind of see Jim in August and stuff, and I'm like, I don't see it at all. I don't see any of him at all. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if it's because I don't want to or what, but I don't see it at all. But I have like a few people here and there that says that, but I'm like, I don't see it at all. So.
I can see the active part probably, because he's so like energetic and like he like his size, is just
Yeah, I would
he
say
handles his
the only thing is his fast metabolism. But other than that, because even like Jim's not a hyperactive person like that. He just pretends to be. He's not really that person. It's just in order for him to, get the job that he needed, he had to do those things. But he's not that type of person, So that's why it's like, with him being hyper and stuff like that. And then I see our kids, like you guys' kids and stuff, I'm like, maybe that's from us. I don't know. because like a little bit of Chase, because Chase is like that, Connor's like that, and then Jensen's like that, and then Mason's like that. So it's just like a little bit of everything from everyone. That is
like a boy thing? It's a boy thing?
Yeah.
But Jim was like the only child, right?
No.
Oh.
He has the only child syndrome because he's the youngest boy.
Oh. Okay.
So his parents like
How many oldest? Does he have any older brothers?
2.
Are we doing
Two.
in-laws?
I'll do that right now.
I'll get on that.
I'm looking at you in the camera. I'm just kidding. But no,
Transition to in-laws right now.
So,
he has 2 older brothers and 2 older sisters.
oh.
So, but it's like what I said. I think it's because he was the youngest boy, so he was just like coddled like his whole life, even now, to where like that. I think that's why like I can't say any of the stuff that August does resembles him, because even when he told me his childhood and stuff like that, it's like it doesn't sound like that at all, And then so I don't know. Maybe if anything, it's sometimes August has that only child syndrome.
Yeah.
But he's surrounded by everyone. Even though he is the only child, I never treat him like that because we've always been around other kids, So maybe that part, I don't know.
And that might be the contributing factor that makes him so much more different, or that you see difference, is that him being around the other kids, right? And not feeling or being treated like the only child or something like that. Because I can see that.
So did you? Okay. I'm changing the question. So, Peter, have you ever like did your kids wait? Is Jensen going to school yet?
Yeah, he's in TK. Yeah.
Has he like okay, so what happened to me when Darren first went to school? He was holding my hand, like he always holds my hand. And then I think the first day of school, he was like, "Mom, I don't want to hold your hand anymore," because he's embarrassed of me. So my question to you is that has Jensen or your kids done that to you
Yeah.
yet?
Have you run into that yet?
No, most of my kids had like separation anxiety, except for Grace. But Grace didn't bother me because I was already ready for it. It was leaning towards my wife. She was like so devastated when Grace didn't care for her. Like went to the first day of kindergarten, whatever. She just like, see ya, peace. And mom's like, no, come over here, give me a hug, hold her really long. You're gonna miss me.
Promise you.
Just
you wait.
Grace is like gone. She's like, I'm gonna go play with my friends. Bye. Yeah, because I think because of the middle child syndrome, she's like definitely like, now I can kind of be whoever I want to be with these kids or whatever, and so maybe with my wife, that one being like what the youngest daughter and the one just like her, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she was expecting more or something.
Yeah, like with Darren, he didn't even care about me. No, like it's just that he was just kind of like too embarrassed of me already. I was like, "What? You're only 5 years old, and you already don't care for me?"
You already did the 5?
Yeah, when he was in kindergarten, he was like, he went with me like the first time. I think like the first day of school, he's like, "Oh, mom," he didn't want to like hold my hands, and he was like because people were gonna see him. So I was like, "What, little hater?" So here and there, we'll still tease him about it. So like, I think it was just last year. We went to go charge the car, and then Bob purposely said, "Okay, Darren, hurry, hold my hand," and he interlocked their fingers like this, and then walk to Subway, and they're like doing that. We were just like laughing, and then now
Couldn't
Darren just
escape.
kind of Darren
I did
just
that with
does
him
it.
one time too. I think earlier when he was 6th grade.
Oh,
And I think I can't remember what it was. I was walking to class to the front office. And I'm like, "Come in here," and he's like, "What are you doing, Dad?" I'm like, "Let's go, let's go."
Nice. I want to try that one. I
know.
like that.
but our other ones like Evelyn and Connor, they still hold our hands and all that. But it's Darren here where he's like he thinks he's too cool for us, so we have to remind him here and there that we are still his parents. So like I said, Bob would just do that on purpose.
So you think more so it was he did that naturally, subconsciously before, right?
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
age 5, not so much like teenager. I don't want to
Yeah.
do things with my parents because they're uncool and old and.
Yeah, he already had that mentality, and he learned it from himself. And then the weird thing too is that he does say some weird things where I'm like, where'd you learn that from? Like last time he was saying, he was like, he loved his little sister Evelyn, like he loved her so much, and then he was like, he's trying to spend as much time as he can with her, and I said, oh, why? Like you guys still got so much time together. Like why are you so like attached to her? And he said, "Oh, because when we get older, we're supposed to hate each other. So he wants to enjoy this time." And I was like, "Whoever taught you that?" And he was like, "Well, that's normal, right?" And I'm thinking, I'm like, I don't know.
This is Darren right here. This is Darren in the camera.
Look at that mop,
I
yo.
know.
That is not among her hair right there. That is too much hair.
That's a Garcia hair. Your other side.
Yeah, that's funny because my kids, they don't. Maybe because I'm like the dad, so I'm just like, oh, just do whatever.
Yeah.
I get it. It's part of growing up, so I never really noticed those things. But my wife definitely, she's the one that has that separation anxiety thing, you know. Yeah, but it's just curious because I don't have any kids that age yet.
Yeah.
So I worry about that, like with my kids getting older, and I know that sometimes it's just, you know, people trying to be nice. Oh, your kids are so cute and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, my kids are. That's why I have issues about like in the future, what's gonna happen, you know. And I'm sure every parent thinks about like those same things for their kids. But it's like, no, my kids are, like they're cute because they look like me. So I worry because I had, I was a cocky little kid back then, So I worry about those things when they get to that age, especially, my two older ones are girls, like I get it. They may be more like materialistic with like just, having makeup and wearing certain things, but I just know that when that time comes, it's gonna be tough for me.
Yeah.
And I gotta teach them or have that relationship to have that open relationship with them sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you said cocky, it reminds me of Darren. Like he is one cocky little kid. He thinks everything's like, I don't know, like what is it? I told him for this year, he's a sophomore now. I was telling him that focus on school and don't focus on any girls. Girls are evil.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay. And then so I guess he's going to school, and then he was like telling me that, man, he's still getting girls left to right. He's not even trying. I was like, dude, they're so into yourself. And he's like, it just comes to me. Like,
I ain't even trying. I'm beating
Yeah.
them off of me.
because I'm telling you and your stupid hair. It's like, yeah. He's like, no, he just thinks like he's so good looking. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, still stay focused, because I told him, I was like, if your grades don't stay up, I'm gonna kick you out of like volleyball. And then he was just like, but girls just keep coming to me. And I was like, oh my god, he's so into himself.
So is that a learned behavior or is that the built-in behavior?
Built-in.
Built-in is just like Amy. like I always say that Amy's kids are just like Amy, because once they see a mirror, man, they only see themselves. They're always
yeah.
like, And there's one time where like Darren got some new clothes and he was just wearing it and he was looking at the sliding door. You can see your reflection. He's like, damn. And then we're like, what? He goes, I look good. I'm just like, oh my God, that's just like Amy. Because when we always like, sometimes we'll talk about it, like, oh, rate yourself, and then she's like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm an 11. I'm a 15. We're like all like humble. I'm a 5. I'm a 6. She's like, I'm a 15. Like, she's straight up like. But all her kids are like that. We're like, Georgia, once she sees a mirror, she's like looking at herself.
Looking at her, yeah.
Evelyn, even Connor's like that too.
Yes.
So that's why we're just like
Twerking in the
yeah.
mirror.
Dude, that's what August does. We're like, Mom, I'm twerking in the mirror.
Built-in
record
or
me.
learned?
No, that one he learned from Amy
good
and
one.
he learned that from Connor.
Yeah,
That's built-in.
Connor learned it from Ryan.
Yeah.
He went to go sleep over at Michelle and them's house. One day he came back and he just started twerking. And he said he got it from Ryan.
Yeah.
Check out this Ryan's tour review.
No, Ryan Michelle's Ryan.
Yeah, I know.
You see.
I don't know what tour review he's got, but he's reviewing something. I learned it. That's funny. That's not that that's a bad thing. I haven't seen that from my kids yet. Like they haven't been like, oh, I'm so cute and this and that. But I wonder when that time comes. It's like I want to see that from them because they're so like gonna be so into themselves, right? Like at least your kids kind of started when they were young. So.
I know. I was like, damn, these like conceited ass kids. I was like, I wasn't that bad, right? And then Paul, like, I think when we started dating, he was like, I noticed that you always check yourself out when you pass like a reflection. I was like, no, I don't. And I go, say okay, I try not to do it no more. I know.
We'll be like walking past the stretch where it has all just glass. We're walking, talking to each other, and listening. She just looks over to the glass, walking down. I'm like, whatever, do what you gotta do.
She's like, hey.
There's your opportunity,
Yeah, I definitely don't do that. So maybe that's why my kids don't do it at all. I know my wife, she has this saying like, I bet you had like all these like ex-girlfriends, you have all these like baby mamas. Like, well, I don't have none of that stuff. What are you talking about? I know I look like I should have all that, but I don't. I'm a nice guy.
Don't lie, Peter. Don't lie.
For real. Oh, I did want to bring that up though, because I heard you guys talking about it. It's like when we had like ex-girlfriends and how we thought about it when we would bring them to the conversation with our sisters. And yeah, I was definitely afraid of that too, because you guys are not nice. But knowing what I know now, I know that you guys were just teasing and being sisters. But back then, I honestly thought like, I don't want them to meet you. I don't want you guys to know who she is, whatever, because maybe you guys will act on those things. You guys want to try to beat me up and like arm wrestle me and make all these stories. So you never know, right?
Except that beanie, okay, Peter?
Let me call Michelle. Put on speaker.
Hey, put her on speaker right now. There's a reason why she's not here. It's her choice. She didn't want to defend it because she ain't got nothing to defend. That's all.
I know. I can't wait for that next podcast when it comes sibling rivalries. It's gonna be a good one.
We need to get more mics then.
Yep.
But we also probably need like maybe punching gloves just in case, right? Like, hey, if you gotta defend yourself and you won't like take a L, then maybe you guys need to duke it out or something.
Yeah, that's right. Or arm wrestle it again.
Oh, why you gotta go there?
It's personal.
That's behind the scenes.
I know, don't record it. Don't approve.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, nothing happened.
But yeah, the kids, it's crazy because like there's so many of them. Whenever it's just my kids, and if you add just like one or two more, I'm like, oh my god, the whole house is filled with a bunch of kids. It's like I'm just thinking like, how the heck, like there's always.
But that's the beauty of it, right? So the fact that every siblings of yours, you know, they have their own, they're grown up together and being raised together. So now, let's say when they get to our age, they have that many people to surround themselves with.
Yeah.
You know, versus let's say it's just Ariel, Ryan, and Darren.
Yeah.
You know, that happened for the first time, where it's just them three. But now it's expanding. So now, like I say, once they get to our age, now they can surround themselves with more people, and not be kind of like limited to just a little small amount. So just more people, the better.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I do see that. I think that's kind of what drove me back to here to California, right? Because like on my wife's side, there weren't many like kids or their first cousins around their age, and so as much as they saw their families there, they always were close to them, but coming over here, then there's like kids everywhere. Then they're just like, it doesn't matter where we go, it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna have a whole lot of party with like all the kids, old, young, whatever. We all kind of get along. So I think that's what kind of drove me back. Is I just love that part, because I knew I wasn't gonna have a huge family. I wasn't gonna have 10 kids. I valued that I have 3 too many, that I can put some resources into it, but not enough. Like just imagine like us being like a family of like 20 or something. Like our parents didn't teach us shit.
Yeah, that's true. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we learned a lot from our siblings or friends, I think, and good and bad. But knowing what I know now, being a parent, I'm like, no, I need to put as much time with them. I need to at least try my best to do this, even though if I don't think I'm giving it 110%, I want to put in my 2 cents in it, because I know my parents didn't, or I don't feel like I was given that opportunity,
Yeah, that cough drop, or it actually works pretty good, because I was like kind of coughing, and then throughout this whole entire time while I have it, it didn't. So that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like anesthetics on your throat and your mouth. Everything is numb.
Yeah.
You want to squeeze? Are we squeezing an ad too?
I know.
Pick it up at your local grocery store.
Right?
It's that season.
Going back to what you were saying, Peter, is like, I think that's why like I always push for the kids to always hang out, because like what we told them, I was like, when we were kids, we didn't really hang out with our friends because we had so much siblings and nieces and nephews and stuff like that. I think we forget there are nieces and nephews, but it's like we all just hang out. It's like we never get to go hang out with our friends because every time we just hang out with ourselves.
Yeah.
And like what Jerry said last time, where I didn't need friends. I had my cousins. I had, my siblings and stuff like that. That, I try to teach the kids now, the generation now, that hang out, like, because at the end of the day, family is very important, and I think I push it even more now that I have my own, is because like me and Ty, we only have one.
Yeah.
If like your kids don't get along with ours, or if we don't push that, then our kids are going to be the loners,
yeah.
because everybody else does,
yeah.
And so I think that's why, like, for me and Ty, that it's like whenever we see something, we just take the opportunity,
Yeah.
and then I think like someone mentioned before, where it's like, oh, like you guys been going out with Ty and them a lot, and I was like, well, because she only has one and I just have one, so sometimes we just, okay, let's just go, it's just ours, because ours is the younger ones too, where Michelle's is a lot older, so there's some things that they don't want to do, or Amy's got some older ones too, to where they're like, oh, those stuff are boring, but ours didn't get to experience that yet, so they still want to do those things, and we want to give them that experience, that even though you don't have brothers and sisters, that, hey, at least you got like, the cousins that's like your partners in crimes and stuff like that. So I think that's why it's so important. I always try to get the kids and to hang out, and even if we're not doing anything, it's just hanging out here and chilling with each other and stuff like that. That's still, it still goes a long way. And it's like what we were talking about yesterday, where Darren and Ryan, Ariel and them, they used to be so close. But now it's just like everyone's just like so busy that it's like every time they come, they act like strangers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's weird too, because if they don't try to rekindle that bond or whatever, they'll be kind of like, like I was saying before with like, say, me and Bobby. Even though we weren't like the super close or tight, whatever, in our teenage years or whatever, when we were kids, we were tight. At least that's what I remembered. So, bringing them around and being close together, that's good. Whether it be just, the few family events or try to push more, I think it's going to be beneficial. They may not think about it that way because maybe they have a bigger family, but I think it is useful, because like I often say, just looking at like my son, he's the only one. And then, not that I'm all Hmong cultured out, and I'm all about Hmong culture, but then I do realize there's going to be certain benefits and certain deficits of just being the only son, right? Only one person that's carrying the quote unquote carrying the name or the traditions and things like that. So I do want him to be close to like his cousins and things like that, to have brothers and sisters or whatever to bounce on as they grow old.
Yeah, that's true. I love it that, like I've said to you guys before, said it to you and to Johnny before, that I love it how my little ones, they have le mokua, they have people with them, and now I'm getting distracted. Why are you just doing that? Why are you bringing that little unicorn right there?
Grace.
But I love it, because now that you guys are here, your little ones, my little ones have like partners in crime now, like Evelyn and Sylvia, and then Connor, Jensen, and Grace. Grace can bounce off of both parties, because like she can fit with the girls. It's so cute. Grace is like, she's so girly, yet she's very tomboyish. So I'll see her like she's all tomboy, but she has makeup on. Yeah. It's so cute.
Playing basketball with makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
With high heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had to try to do karate with high heels. Yeah. She's a character, because I think maybe it's that middle child syndrome. She just wants to do everything and be around wherever the crowd is. But the funny thing is, she's like, she has certain limitations that she doesn't know how to overcome. Like we play video games, and she is not coordinated. Like just a simple video game, whether it just be Mario Party, it's kind of like intuitive, right? And a lot of kids, they pick it up and they're just like 1 or 2 tries, they're already kind of like getting how to play it. She has no like hand-eye coordination or anything like that. So she gets so frustrated, and probably from like her habits from her mom, just have no patience for like inefficient moves or means or whatever. It's just so tough for her, but she's funny. She is like that, like you said. She could go either way,
Yeah.
boys or girls, young adults, older ones, younger ones, or whatever. She's pretty cool like that.
Yeah, that's good.